There's no wick again. No way to light this thing.
No. You guys. You guys, there's no wick. Wait, producer Kylie? There's no wick, right? Am I crazy? Where's the thing that I light?
Can you talk to me about your candle?
Oh, yes. I really wanted to bring this to the people. So I have a listener who has a family member that was working at Netflix for many, many years and just left. And I was gifted this gorgeous, as ever. There's no wick. Is that normal?
Are you serious?
Is that the thing?
There's
no wick.
I've had 2 people tell me that there was no wick when they ordered a candle.
There's literally no wick.
Are you kidding?
There's one huge problem with these candles, and it's impossible to ignore. They don't have a wick. No wick at all. This isn't a joke, and it's not some rare factory slip-up either. It keeps happening again and again. People are opening pricey candles, all excited, only to realize they can't even light them or use them in any way. Customers from all over are speaking up. They're reaching out to customer service asking for refunds or answers, and what do they get back? Nothing. No reply, no explanation, just straight silence. That alone has people heated, and now this mess is turning into the latest controversy tied to Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand. And this time, it's not just messy headlines or social media chatter. There could be real legal consequences behind this. When people pay premium prices and receive something unusable, that's not just embarrassing, it's risky business. Once you dig deeper, the whole situation gets even weirder. It started when a few buyers posted online saying their candles showed up without wicks. At first, people laughed it off. Some thought it was a joke, others assumed it was just one odd mistake or online exaggeration. But then more posts popped up, and then even more.
Oprah loves the marmalade so much. It's a favorite of hers that came across totally organically.
No.
Oh no.
I literally feel my throat closing. Oh my God. Orange marmalade.
Oh no.
Tastes like crap. I actually feel sick.
Before long, it became clear this wasn't a one-time issue. This was happening to a lot of customers. This isn't about one defective candle slipping through quality checks. It's starting to look like a repeated pattern of faulty products being shipped out to paying customers. That's where things start getting real uncomfortable. Because once you notice this detail, it's hard to look away, and it changes the whole conversation fast. Here's the part that really has people raising eyebrows. On the bottom of the candle, there's printed text that says, "Always trim wick to 1/4 inch." That line matters big time. It confirms these candles are supposed to have wicks. This isn't some fancy wick-free design for decoration or warmers. These are regular candles meant to be lit, plain and simple. Except, there's nothing there to light. Some customers say their candles showed up with a clean hole straight down the middle.
When Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, purchased a candle from a person he dislikes and received a candle without a wick in it.
You had one job. Put the wick in the candle. We're not selling candles at Walmart. This is a luxury lifestyle brand.
Like the wick was supposed to be there, but never added. Just an empty tunnel going right into the wax. Others opened theirs and found something even stranger. Solid wax all the way through. No hole, no wick, nothing. Just a smooth block sitting there. And let's be clear about one thing. These are not cheap candles you grab off a random shelf without thinking. These are marketed as luxury items. Premium products. The kind you're supposed to feel proud to own, show off, and display in your space. That's why this hits harder for buyers. Now let's talk about the price, because this is where it really sinks in.
Also, some desperate moves to sell as ever, and reviews coming in, as apparently she's selling a candle without a...
Each one of these candles sells for $64. Luxury candles are a real thing, no debate about that. There's a whole market for high-end home fragrance, but the moment you charge $64 for a single candle, expectations go way up. People expect quality. They expect clean craftsmanship. They expect someone actually checked the product before shipping it out. What they don't expect is a candle that flat out doesn't work at that price point. For $64, people know what good looks like. You could grab multiple candles from Bath & Body Works that burn perfectly. You could walk into Home Goods or TJ Maxx and leave with several solid candles that smell great and actually do their job. You could even buy a Yankee candle, fill your whole place with fragrance, and still have cash left over. Instead, buyers trusted the Meghan Markle brand. They believed the marketing, they bought into the image, they expected something elevated, polished, and worth the premium price tag. And what they ended up with had a lot of people asking the same exact question. How did this happen? So what did customers really get for their money?
Will it actually include the packaging? Because I'm hearing rumblings that another candle went out without a wick. Again, you have one job. What's going on with that?
Basically, a very expensive paperweight. And somehow, the story manages to get even more wild. The scent itself is marketed as California Poppy, mixed with a few other notes. But here's the part that has people confused. California poppies barely have a scent at all. People who actually live in California, surrounded by these flowers, pointed this out themselves. The so-called signature flower doesn't really smell like anything in real life, which makes the whole branding choice feel off from the jump.
Meghan Markle always says she's known as the smart one and that her whole identity is wrapped up in being smart. We're still waiting to see that. Where is that smart identity? Like, was it smart to leave the royal family to go sell jams, jellies, dog biscuits, and wickless candles? Like, you could be royalty right now.
That means even if the candle actually had a wick, there's still a problem. You'd be burning $64 worth of wax scented after a flower that barely has any natural fragrance to begin with. That alone has people raising eyebrows, but the situation doesn't stop at annoying. This is where things start feeling real questionable. Once buyers realized their candles were defective, they did exactly what any normal customer would do. They contacted customer service. They submitted requests through the website. They followed every step they were told to follow. They asked for replacements. They asked for refunds. Nothing wild. Nothing extra. So what happened next? According to multiple reports, nothing at all. The brand's customer service is being described as basically non-responsive. Some buyers say they only received generic automated replies that went nowhere. Others say they never heard back at all, not once. Refund requests, either denied outright or ignored completely. Reports say the website runs under a strict no refund policy. So if you spend $64 on a candle and it shows up missing the one thing that actually makes it usable, that's somehow on you. No refund, no replacement, just tough luck. And when you step back and really think about it, that's hard to justify.
There's nothing to light on the candle. This is like Meghan Markle's career. Failure to launch. Oh my God. Wait, I literally, this is not a joke. I ordered Meghan Markle's candle. There's nothing to light. I literally want a refund. Meghan Markle, send me a frickin' refund. So I paid. How much did I pay for this?
Any legitimate business dealing with a clear manufacturing issue affecting multiple customers would move fast. Refunds would be issued, replacements would be sent, apologies would be made. That's not special treatment. That's basic customer service, period. That's how real brands protect their name and keep trust solid. Instead, customers are stuck holding useless wax cylinders with no real options and no clear path to fix the problem. One buyer even laid out their entire attempt to get help, step by step. They went through the official website, selected that the item arrived damaged, explained the issue clearly, and waited for a real response. What came back? A generic form asking for their order number. After that, nothing helpful followed at all. No solution, no follow-up, no real human response. And when you're selling luxury products at luxury prices, customer service isn't optional. It's part of what people are paying for. Ignoring valid complaints doesn't just frustrate customers. It chips away at trust and slowly damages the brand's reputation. And situations like this have a way of circling back when you least expect it. Now here's a detail that really puts everything into perspective.
This candle, right? This as ever scented candle. And we're in the United Kingdom, so it didn't arrive until after to the United Kingdom. And I saw this and I thought, enjoy. Well, of course I'm not going to enjoy. This is terrible, Alan. And I wasn't even going to mention it because it's like, I don't want people to think that I'm putting money into her pockets and all of that. But of course, I was intrigued to look at the candle and look at the box. And I'd known full well what happened with Link Lauren, my friend Link, when he received his as ever order. Of course, I assumed I'd sorted it out. So you are not going to believe what happened when I opened the box, when I got back. There's no wick again. No way to light this thing. Seriously, look.
A recent story popped up about a Netflix employee who was leaving the company. As part of their departure, they were handed what was described as a trash bag full of leftover promotional items. We're talking random swag, unwanted merchandise, things the company just wanted gone. And inside that bag, among the throwaway items was one of these candles. Let that sink in for a second. Netflix. A major partner connected to Meghan Markle was handing these products out as leftover employee throwaways, not premium gifts, not special merch, just items they wanted gone fast. That detail speaks louder than any glossy marketing pitch ever could. And here's the part that makes it even worse. The candle inside that Netflix swag bag was also wickless. Same issue. That means Netflix had these products sitting around, knew they weren't worth holding onto, and tossed them into exit bags for employees on their way out the door.
It's just confusing because you told me that over text. We're gonna try this, and I was like, "What?"
You're trying Megan's as if she. I wonder if she actually. Do you think she actually put the sticker on? You think she put poison in this because she knew it was mine?
I think she made her kids help.
Do you think she saw Andy and was like, "Oh crap, this is Popcorn Planet. I gotta."
I'm nervous.
Yeah, no, did she poison it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, look at all this. Look at all this wrapped stuff, guys. All right, well,
that's fancy.
She took the strawberry jam already out so she could do the test, but this is how it comes. I'm doing a fair unboxing. We're going to be fair, Megan. This is the raspberry spread. Okay, look at that. And then we got over here, as you're seeing, I'm opening. We got the kind of annoying, but yeah, there we go. This is the
protection.
This is the apricot spread. Or the orange marmalade, like Paddington likes. And then I got a special. You ready for this special?
Yeah.
You know what I got?
That's the level of value they put on the as-ever merchandise. No polish, no care, no sense of pride, just something to clear out and move along. And the timing makes this look even messier. This all happened after Netflix officially stepped away from Love, Meghan following seriously disappointing performance numbers. Reports say the show ranked beyond 1,200 on Netflix's charts. Let that sink in. It was beaten by decade-old reruns of Downton Abbey. It was outperformed by kids' cartoons that had zero marketing push at all. Netflix clearly wanted distance from this project, and judging by their moves, they wanted it fast. When a major streaming partner quietly dumps your products as leftover clutter, that tells you everything you need to know. They clearly weren't treating these items as premium. They weren't treating them as valuable at all. They were just clearing shelf space and moving on like it meant nothing. Now, here's the part that really doesn't add up. Meghan Markle has repeatedly described herself as someone with extreme attention to detail. She said she's deeply involved in every part of her brand and positioned herself as a hands-on entrepreneur who personally oversees what goes out under her name.
I ordered the candle. The candle came without a wick. This is not even a stunt. I literally opened it on camera. Her candle that was $64 was not lightable, okay? It was a metaphor for her career. Nothing was igniting, nothing was lighting, there was nothing on the inside. So Meghan Markle, it's actually quite pathetic to see someone fall from grace so hard.
Right.
Let this be a cautionary tale to so many of the women out there who maybe even look up to Meghan Markle, though I don't know how you would have stumbled.
Her own words were that she has a freaky eye for detail. A freaky eye for detail. So how are candles shipping without wicks? Not once, not twice, but over and over again. Across different orders, different customers. Same issue. That raises serious questions. Either she isn't involved in quality control at all, which would make those public claims about being hands-on sound completely off, or she is involved and somehow missed that her candles don't have wicks. Either way, that so-called attention to detail becomes really hard to take seriously. There's no version of this story where she comes out looking sharp or in control. And let's be real for a moment. This isn't a complicated product. It's a candle. Candles have existed for thousands of years. The process is basic. You need wax, you need fragrance, you need a container, and you need a wick. That's 4 basic things. And somehow, again and again, one of those 4 essentials just doesn't make it into the final product. That points to a serious breakdown somewhere in the process that nobody caught before shipping. Or something even worse. Because at this point, another possibility starts to creep in. It suggests the issue may have been known, and the products were still sent out anyway, with the hope that customers wouldn't notice or wouldn't bother speaking up.
$64. I paid $64 for a candle you can't light. And you know how God has a sense of humor? I was running around the house this morning looking for matches or looking for a lighter. So I literally finally found matches. Okay, we're a few minutes late filming the show. Looks like I didn't even need a match because there's nothing to light the candle. Light a candle. Okay, let me smell it. Smells like a whorehouse in Nevada. It smells no different than a Yankee candle you could get at CVS.
So what happens next? What are the real consequences when a company sells defective products at premium prices and then refuses to issue refunds? There are a few paths forward, and none of them look good for the brand. First, there's the Federal Trade Commission. The FTC handles complaints tied to deceptive or unfair business practices. Selling something marketed as a candle that doesn't actually function like a candle could land squarely under their watch. If enough complaints stack up, an investigation becomes a very real possibility. Second, there's the risk of a class action lawsuit. When multiple customers are affected by the same defective product from the same company, they can come together and take legal action as a group. This situation checks every box for the kind of case those lawsuits are built around. And third, there's the Better Business Bureau. Public complaints don't just disappear. They stay visible, they pile up, and they can seriously damage how a brand is viewed long-term. While the BBB doesn't have direct legal power, a wave of complaints can still wreck a company's rating. And once that happens, the damage sticks around. Those complaints create a public record that follows the brand everywhere it goes. And this is where the bigger picture really starts coming into focus. Because this isn't just about one bad product or a few unhappy customers anymore. This is about how a brand reacts when something goes wrong, or in this case, how it doesn't react at all. When customers spend premium money, they expect premium accountability. That means owning mistakes, fixing problems, treating buyers with basic respect instead of brushing them off.
It's not my favorite scent. It's a very feminine scent. I will tell you, it is actually very, very feminine. It's supposed to be water, lotus, sandalwood, and California poppy. It does probably smell like Meghan Markle's bathroom at her home in Montecito, I will tell you that. But it's a no for me. I will say this. If I'm paying $64 for a candle, there better be a wick, okay? There better be something that I can actually light. I actually think this is a joke. This has to be a prank, you guys. The candle, I will say, it's weighty. It's heavy. It doesn't feel cheap. I'll give her credit for that. It doesn't feel cheap. The problem is you can't light it, you bird brain bitch. There's nothing in here. So someone at quality control needed to control the quality because there's nothing to light.
What's happening here looks like the complete opposite. Silence instead of solutions, automated replies instead of real help, a rigid policy instead of common sense, and people are definitely noticing. Online conversations have shifted big time. They're not just about missing wicks anymore, they're about trust. Once customers start questioning whether a brand actually stands behind its products, that's when the damage spreads fast. And word travels quick when people feel ignored or dismissed. Luxury branding runs on perception. It's not only about the product itself, it's about how the customer feels before the purchase, during the checkout, and after the box is opened. Right now, that customer experience looks broken at every single stage. From defective items landing on doorsteps to customer service going completely quiet, the cracks are impossible to ignore. What makes this situation even more risky is the pricing. When you charge high-end prices, your margin for error gets very small. Customers are way less forgiving. A mistake that might slide at a lower price point turns into a major issue when people feel they paid for excellence and got carelessness instead. And this opens up bigger questions behind the scenes. Who is overseeing production? Who is approving shipments? Who is actually responsible for customer support? These aren't small details. These are the basics of running any consumer-facing business. If those systems aren't tight and reliable, no amount of branding can hide it for long. Glossy marketing can only do so much before reality catches up. And let's be real for a second. This brand doesn't exist in isolation. It's tied to a very public figure. That means every mistake gets amplified. Every complaint carries extra weight. When your name alone helps drive sales, your reputation becomes part of the product. Once that reputation starts to crack, sales usually follow. We've seen this pattern before. Brands launch with massive hype, skip the groundwork, and then struggle once the spotlight moves on.
Is that these products, and by the way, this candle, $64 from the Was Never website, $77.94 because we ordered it from eBay, is a dud. It's a cheap mess that you cannot light. And so Alan emailed eBay communication and he wrote, "Hello, just received the candle today. Were you aware that the candle itself has no wick?" And eBay replied saying, "Hello, my apologies. When I checked it prior to shipping, I saw a wick. You can return the item, and as soon as I receive the return, I will issue a refund." Well, there wasn't a wick. There was no goddamn wick. We're not making this up. You can't remove a wick.
When the early buzz fades, what's left is the product itself. And if the product doesn't hold up, no amount of storytelling can save it. At the end of the day, customers aren't asking for anything unreasonable here. They're not asking for special treatment at all. They're asking for candles that actually work. They're asking for refunds when products arrive defective. They're asking to be acknowledged when something goes wrong. That's the bare minimum for any business. Instead, what they're getting is frustration and radio silence. And silence mixed with frustration has a way of escalating fast. It turns into formal complaints. It turns into chargebacks. And it can turn into legal action before a brand even realizes how far things have gone. Once that door opens, costs stack up quickly. What makes this worse is that this situation could have been handled quietly and cleanly early on. A recall, a public acknowledgement, refunds, a policy adjustment. Any one of those steps could have slowed the fallout. But ignoring the issue lets it grow. And now this is no longer just a customer service problem. It's a credibility problem. And credibility, once lost, is extremely hard to rebuild. As more people share their experiences, the pressure only keeps building. Regulators start noticing patterns. Lawyers start paying attention to numbers. And consumers watch closely to see how companies act when they think no one is paying attention. This story isn't over. If anything, it's just entering its next phase. And beyond federal oversight, there's another layer of risk that often gets overlooked: state-level consumer protection laws.
They never arrive without a goddamn wick, and certainly you can't just tip it upside down. It's a sticky, revolting mess of a candle. Honestly, this is a joke.
What does it smell like? Can you describe it?
Honestly, cheap and not strong either. Like, I like a strong scent, and it's not strong, and it's very soapy. I mean, this is meant to be White Lotus, Sandalwood, Californian Poppy. Our scent at home, elegant and earthy. Honestly, it's not at all. It smells like soap. Really does. And as I say, I'm a candle guy. And what's so fascinating is that this business has imploded. And it's imploded to the point where she is having to keep on pumping out her advertising. I even got a new one overnight. Well, again,
many states have strict rules when it comes to selling defective products and refusing refunds. Depending on where a company operates and where customers live, this situation could trigger violations across multiple states at once. And that's where a bad business decision starts turning into a serious legal headache. Then there's the issue of chargebacks. When customers dispute charges with their credit card companies after receiving defective products, the business doesn't just lose the sale, they also get hit with extra fees. And if enough chargebacks pile up, payment processors can step in and cut the merchant off completely. That means no ability to process online payments at all. For a brand that relies on direct-to-consumer sales, that's not a small setback. That's shutdown territory. This legal exposure isn't hypothetical. It's real, and it's serious. This goes way beyond bad press or social media backlash. This is the kind of situation that can cause long-term financial damage if it keeps snowballing. And here's where things take an even stranger turn. Despite everything happening right now, recent reports suggest Meghan Markle is planning to expand the As Ever brand into the UK market. Yes, really, the same brand struggling to ship functional candles, the same brand refusing refunds for defective products, the same brand whose merchandise Netflix reportedly treated as disposable. That brand is now aiming to break into the United Kingdom, according to sources. Reports say Meghan believes she can capture a meaningful share of the UK jam market and beyond. But with all these unresolved issues still hanging in the air, that move raises even more questions than answers. She reportedly believes that once British consumers are exposed to her products, they'll fully embrace the brand. But that belief feels seriously disconnected from reality. Meghan Markle is far less popular in the UK than she is in the United States. And even in the US, her approval isn't exactly strong right now. The British public has been pretty clear about how they feel, and that context matters a lot when you're trying to sell premium products. Then there's the legal environment to think about. The UK has much stricter consumer protection laws than the United States. Refund rights are clearer. Enforcement moves faster when defective products are sold and refunds are refused. The legal consequences in that market would likely be swift and costly. And competition in the UK is no joke. The market is already packed with established brands that have loyal customers and proven quality. That includes high-growth products linked to King Charles, which are well regarded and backed by real heritage. Competing in that space takes more than a famous name. It takes trust, it takes consistency, and it takes products that actually work. The idea that this brand could dominate any market right now while struggling with basic product functionality and silent customer service doesn't line up with reality at all.
Guys, this is not a joke. I'm testing Meghan Markle's new candle on my show. There's literally no wick. I just got Markle. There's literally nothing to light. Okay, there's nothing to light on here. I feel like Meghan Markle saw my name and maybe took it out. Quality control. Really needed to check the quality because it's out of control.
So it's a piece of tat. No wonder she has hundreds and thousands of these things on the shelf.
Expansion doesn't hide existing problems. It magnifies them. So where does that leave As Ever? The Wickless candle mess isn't some one-off mistake. It's the latest entry in a growing list of problems tied to this brand. Products that supposedly sold out instantly, followed by cancelled orders, ongoing quality complaints across different items, and the collapse of the Netflix partnership that was meant to push the brand forward. At a certain point, this stops looking like bad luck. It starts looking like a pattern, and patterns are exactly what regulators, lawyers, and consumers pay attention to. Second chances don't last forever, patience runs out, and consequences eventually show up. Charging $64 for a candle that doesn't work. Offering no refund, leaving customer complaints unanswered. That's not luxury branding. That's a warning sign. So the question now is simple. Can As Ever survive this scandal? Will there be real legal consequences down the line? And most importantly, knowing what we know now, would you ever trust this brand with your money? If you watch this and have thoughts, drop them in the comments below. I want to know what you think. And if this breakdown made you see things differently, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to see it. Stay locked in for more deep dives like this, and I'll see you in the next video.